Welcome to Austin, Texas, and DKR, home of the Texas Longhorns. As we'll see, the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on the second-ranked team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. To the air, it's Manning. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. This is a kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I mean, I just lost yards on a screenplay. How does that happen?
Now backed up in their own end. It's 3rd and long. Here's the snap, looking to throw. He's going for the big play. Intercepted. Trying to take it back. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. And they turn it into a defensive score.
Oof, and after that pick six, not the start this quarterback wanted. You're going to have to be really good about having a short-term memory and just turn the page. There's tons of football here to be played. You made a big mistake on that last throw. Don't let it beat you for the rest of this football game. You've got a lot of ball left to play. You've got to keep going.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So now the Longhorns take over, and they'll send out the offense. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
And the Longhorns with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. From the gun. Give on the inside. Spins away from the defender. They finally get him stopped, but this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking, more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
The Longhorns, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. The give to the running back from the shotgun.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Longhorns can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. It's a reverse. And the defense played that one beautifully, and they'll knock him down for a loss.
And that's how you respond as a defense, man. You give up 9 yards on first down. Second down, man, they bring some pressure. They are in the backfield fast, and they make the tackle for a loss and completely flip the script. Almost a guaranteed first down on second down, and now maybe even put them in a passing situation on third down.
Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the first down, they've got it at the 40.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Motion from the wideout. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
That cornerback put his face in the fan. I love it. Coming up quickly, making a tackle in space.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Dropping back. It's Manning. Quickly complete. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
Looking to the big tight end. On target over the middle. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. And the Longhorns started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. They want to throw it. Firing to the right, complete. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking for the goal line. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
They've pushed it forward down to the 5, but now looking at third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. There were serious revolutions on that third down pass, but it's incomplete.
You have to understand at home, it's really hard for a head coach to kick a field goal at this juncture. After such a... drive. So many first downs. You've gotten right down to the doorstep. Fourth down, you want to be able to pay this thing off and punk. this drive with a touchdown.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. It's a forget the kick. He's going to throw it. Boy, you look smart when it works out, but when it goes awry, you are left to second-guess yourself. This noise is deafening, trying to keep this offense from being able to operate. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Lots of time left and ready to go back at it here in the second quarter. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be third down.
I think a really big key in the RPO game is having really good rhythm and timing. Offense didn't have it there, and that's why it falls in.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Looking to throw, its Carr. Here comes the heat. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit in coverage that forces the incompletion.
They punted away on fourth down. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up the big return. Thought we might see some of this. They'll go to the Wildcat formation here. Wants to pass it. That one falls incomplete. They reached into the bag of tricks on first down and couldn't pull it off.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
Second down, he'll throw it. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Pulls it in. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
And this is why checkdowns are so big. There's a lot of quarterbacks in these types of situations on third down. They just want to make the home run, highlight type throw. But a nice job being poised and making a good decision, checking it down to the running back here to help your offense out.
Yeah, and sometimes the coverage is just great. And as a quarterback, you throw the football away or don't try to force it too tight into a window, and you just say, hey, defense won that rep, good coverage.
Looking to throw again. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. Got room on the return. He's at the 10. Touchdown. Touchdown, Irish! The defense putting points on the board. Look, I know it's only the second quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
Quarterback empties his backfield. Might be calling a hot route. Wants to throw. It's Manning. Makes the grab. It's Moore. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wants to go up top. Here's a heat. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. And he is finding wide-open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
He'll pull it on the read. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame! These guys are really hitting their stride in Week 4 as they push out that lead.
Man, I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd. Man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. Offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet in here.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And here come the horns. They've got it again on offense. They really need to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game, running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. They've got to find a way to get some completions strung together. On the option. He'll toss it.
He was looking for some place to put his foot in the ground, but the defense was everywhere, and he's knocked down behind the line.
Really good job by this defense, understanding responsibility football, playing the first option, playing the second option. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Nice job being dialed in exactly where the ball was going and how to get him to the ground.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Working on the right. And he's marked down right there, but a good pickup, and it'll be a first down. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Back to throw, it's Manning. Finds his tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit, and let's keep going.
We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
I think sometimes as a quarterback, when your offense is struggling, you don't have any points up on the board yet here at the end of the first half. You're just trying to take a shot to see if your guy can make a play. And that time, he thought he had the matchup he wanted, but he has just not been able to ever find a rhythm. And this defense is making it really hard on him, forcing that one to fall incomplete.
Going back to the well, another deep ball. He almost had another one. They've already picked off 3 and just a hair away from number 4 there. The Longhorns will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He's got it. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. They take over late and have enough time to put together a drive. Wide receiver comes in motion. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolling right and going deep. He's got it at the 30. There he goes. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
You talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment be dang. You talk about home field advantage. Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the Big Ten. USC is currently ahead early in this one inside the Coliseum, but unlike the days of Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, they just haven't been able to pull away. They're up by 4 over Michigan State. Just another week in the Big Ten where the only constant is chaos, fellas.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. To the air, it's Manning. Finds the tight end. On the move at the 30. He goes out of bounds, maybe a step shy of the 40. They're going to mark it at the 39, and a really nice pickup there.
And there's finally a bright spot for this offense in the passing game, completing that on 3rd down. I know we're in the second quarter. They're trailing by a lot, but you need something positive to happen here to build some momentum. Maybe they can build on that, drive the field, score some points before going in here at halftime and get a little juju going.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Throws to the wideout. Complete to the left. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. Got some room to run. The 30. Inside the 10. Finally brought down, but what a play. Not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return. On the set. Here's 1st and goal, and they could go to the locker room with a huge cushion. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Gets it out fast. Touchdown, Irish! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Looking for a man. It's Manning. Trying to burn this defensive back. And that deep shot's going to wind up incomplete, but we do have a flag on the field. Let's see what the official says. Boy, as a defense, you hate to just hand out 1st downs on a penalty. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Steps away. Got out of trouble and throws. Makes the catch along the sidelines and steps out of bounds.
The pass rush has got to do a better job with their lane integrity. You cannot let this particular quarterback with his speed flush out to the right or to the left because he's absolutely going to kill you. You've got to do a better job collapsing the pocket and forcing him to step up into the teeth of your rush.
He'll take a shot. Touchdown, Texas! They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
And they didn't start this first half the way you wanted to, but at least they're ending on a positive note. At least they're saying, guys, we put a drive together. We scored. We need some plays to go our way, but the offense has got some positive momentum, and that is a great thing going into the half.
Still a big hill in front of them, and they'll try to start the climb with an onside kick. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. To the air on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. It's complete. Turning it on. Almost took it all the way there, but it's a huge gain, and they're set up with a 1st and goal.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
Dropping back, it's Carr. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. Finds his big tight end. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
I got to tell you, this offense has done some really good things here in this first half, and that was so critical. Scoring on their last possession of the half, they're padding their lead, and they've put so much pressure now on the opponent.
On to attempt the try. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. They'd hoped to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
Man, how about that? You come out of the locker room, you just had a little bit of a break, you rested, you told your club we're going to come out, now we're going to be aggressive. We're going to kick an onside even though we're winning, and you failed. Now this defense better step up and respond.
They'll open the second half on the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you gotta love this defensive performance so far. Done such a good job against a running back that you saw last week, man. He can go off. He can make big plays. He can chew some yardage up and keep an offense on schedule. Nice job by this defense locking in and shutting down the run game so far.
They're trying to throw the wide receiver screen to pick up that first down, but the defense just too much speed getting to the ball carrier on that one.
Looking to throw, it's Carr. Throws to the tight end. Got him downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Notre Dame right back to the line. Defense showing heavy blitz at the line. The give to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Quarterback floating away from pressure. The throw. He's got him. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. They'll try to snap it quickly. And the ball's loose in the backfield. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover. He might want another play. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Lets it fly. Catch inside the 25. Touchdown Longhorns! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Well, they worked the play action, and he had his guy outside one-on-one on the go route, and there was no question who's going to be getting the football on this one. Phenomenal job stacking the defender on the route. He gets in behind him, able to make the catch way down the field, and then run it in for the touchdown.
And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
Moving closer to the red zone, it's at the 27 on first down. Wide receiver going in motion. Quick completion to the right. Tried to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there.
How about that? The dying breed of the tackling cornerback. You don't see those anymore. Everybody wants to be great in coverage. Everybody wants to get picks. But how many corners really want to get their face in the fan and make tackles? Nice job by that play.
Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
I love the quick decision that QB made there on that RPO, knowing he wanted to get it out of his hands fast. He just needs to make a more accurate throw moving forward.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Good timing on the quick out. That'll be enough for the first down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. The Irish trying to strike gold in this red zone trip. Wants to throw again. Makes the grab. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. Man, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw the highlights, and just give it to the running back. Let him do his thing. Haven't been able to get him going. I don't know what's going on, but they got to find a way to get their talented back some space so he can make some plays.
Moves around to clear up the vision. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be fourth down.
Great job rallying to the football by this defense. Third down, QB's trying to extend the play, but great team speed on defense, now setting up fourth.
Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this. Down. Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. Absolutely perfect. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. To the air, it's Manning. Makes the catch, it's Moore. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10. Guys, we've come to the end of the quarter, and Notre Dame has the lead. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Torquing the middle. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
This quarterback obviously did a lot of film prep coming into this one. He has been picking this defense apart. With that last completion, guys, he's now got over 300 yards passing.
Wants to go up top on first down. With the catch, it's Moore.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big...
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Texas. The result of this game is going to sting for sure, but you've got to continue to build, you've got to improve, and you can take some positives out of this late hustle and build for next week.
There's always positives, and coaches are always looking for those things that we did well. What did we do well so we can do more of it in the future? Finding some things here late that they did well.
They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch.
And everybody's got different philosophies. Some people kick onsides every single time. You go for the big play, try to create some momentum for your team, but they failed. A nice job covering the kick, seeing the football off the kicker's foot, securing it, getting on the ground, and making sure your offense retains the football.
Fires to the big fella. Inside the 30. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Defense wants to bring the heat. Quarterback moving. Fires into the end zone. Pass is broken up, incomplete as they were trying to strike for 6.
You don't see bat downs all the time. A lot of times guys break on the football, the defensive backs, and then trying to catch it and make a play. I like he knew where he was. He's in the end zone, not trying to give up points. Does a great job breaking on the football and swatting it to the ground.
It's complete to the right. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down. Notre Dame lines up quickly. They'll move the wide receiver. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
They'll try it again from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now on the move. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So Texas has it again, and here comes the offense. This was certainly not their best effort. I believe this team is much better than it performed today, but they're going to pay the consequences of losing this ball game. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Looking to pass. It's Manning. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
You know, you're seeing in college football now with spread offense and tempo and air raid, we're seeing more and more 400-yard days, but I can't remember the last time I've seen one look as impressive as this guy has played today, David. He has been on fire.
And it's so annoying now because all the quick game is so good, and then you take shots when you get matchups, and you see tight ends now that move like wide receivers and running backs that move like receivers. There's so many ways that quarterbacks can hurt you now, and he showed all of it today.
They just keep firing. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. He'll pull it down and run. And a flag flies as the pass is incomplete. Let's see who it's on. He just lost track of where he was on the field. Entire body past the line of scrimmage. Illegal forward pass, and they will back him up. Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. Quarterback making adjustments. Throws toward the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back.
Well, on that last deep shot, it looked to me like the quarterback probably forced that ball into coverage. But can you really blame him, guys? I mean, these two have already hooked up for 2 touchdowns in the game. If I'm him, I'm thinking the same thing. Even when he's covered, he's open. He's shown the ability to climb the ladder and make contested catches, so I don't mind him taking another shot there.
And the Longhorns want to move quickly.
Hey, I got to be honest, I don't know if the defense was expecting that type of throw on 4th down. It looked like they were all huddled close to the line of scrimmage, looking for something in the quick game, but instead the quarterback takes a shot vertically down the field and catches the defense off guard.
Throws to the wideout. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
Well, this defense has just had this QB's number all game long. We're here in the 4th quarter, and still he's not able to set up in the pocket. He gets flushed to the outside, nothing open, and it's an incompletion.
To the air, it's Manning. Rushes on him. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Another hit on the quarterback. All day long, this defense has been able to pin their ears back and get after this guy, and because of that, he's never gotten into a rhythm throwing the football, and that's why they find themselves trailing here late in the 4th quarter.
The short hands, it's Wingo. And he makes a completion there, set up and in business at the 20. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practiced, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Off the play fake. Quarterback extends the play. He's got his man, makes the grab. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
One of the things that makes this quarterback so dangerous is how accurate he can be when he's on the run, and he's a guy that's looking to throw. He's not looking to take off himself. Showed you that accuracy on that play to get the first.
A run for the quarterback. Diving for the score. He loses the football. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. Gets a turnover.
Offensive players, when they got the ball in their hand, they're trying to make plays, right? Trying to make you miss. There's nothing better than closing that gap and sticking that head right in that guy's chest and causing a fumble.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. Gets it past the marker. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and them running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen, strip the football, do something.
looking for a physical attack from the gun. Runs through a tackle. And he left the first defender grabbing at air before he was finally tackled.
And that's good enough for a first down.